Halloween was particularly unusual this year, and for one Plymouth family, heartbreaking. The snow totals varied locally, but Northwest Plymouth got hit the hardest, with more than 4 inches of snowfall reported to the National Weather Service. All of the heavy snow took down tree branches, impacting power lines, and in one case, impacted a home.
It's hard to describe how I feel because I always try to plan for things, and you can't plan for this.
Paige Amelie's Plymouth home was destroyed in a fire Thursday afternoon. Investigators say the heavy snow caused a large tree branch to collapse. That branch then fell on some power lines and sparked a fire that caused extensive damage to most of the house. Amelie, his wife, and 2 kids will stay with family until they find a more stable housing solution. Despite the tragedy, Amelie remains upbeat, considering what could have happened.
I see a home full of memories of people I love and that I care for, and they're all okay.
Amelie says his family has lived in the home for the last 18 years, and he has every intention of rebuilding. The process could take up to a year. Halloween was a nightmare for some, and it also turned out to be one for the record books. Between the Thursday morning rain and then snow, there was 1.7 inches of liquid content that fell, as measured by a weather observer in New Hope. That is the most on record. Compare that to the long-remembered Halloween blizzard of 1991, which produced more than 8 inches of snow, but when melted, it was actually less than an inch of liquid. Our unusual Halloween ended what was also an unusual month. October turned out to be the warmest on record. That followed a record-breaking warm September. In Brooklyn Park, there were accusations against the city's police chief in a chaotic council meeting this week. This comes after the Brooklyn Park City Council asked one of its own members to seek a mental health evaluation.
Mayor, I second that's a point of order. I think we need to maybe call the question on the vote here.
And if I am at the council member,
like to make a motion to call the question?
I feel unsafe like that. How is resident I represent?
Council members attempted to change their seating assignments this week, moving Maria Tran due to safety concerns. She previously tried to get a gun permit from the police department. Police Chief Mark Bruley told the council that Tran believes there's a conspiracy to kill her at City Hall, and she wanted the gun for protection. She pushed back this week and accused the chief of lying.
He just make up the story that I bring the gun into, because of a council member intimidate me. He make up that story.
Tran said she plans to report the chief to state authorities for misconduct. She also refused to change seats. A growing number of shuttered storefronts near West Broadway and Brooklyn Boulevard are raising alarm among residents in Brooklyn Park. I spoke with the city about what those changes look like and share what they need from its neighbors. On this Brooklyn Park corner, once busy Caribou and Jimmy John's storefronts sit vacant.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing a transition. There are multiple tenants that are leaving that location,
with 2 big stores, Cub and Petco, to follow. It's hard for neighbors to feel like it's not a trend.
We don't like to see clusters of vacancies. Any bit we can do to try to refill those spaces in short order is definitely good for the local economy for a variety of reasons.
But Tim Gladhill, the city's community development director, says the rest of the businesses in the area are staying put right now.
We've connected with Target just to reconfirm their commitment to stay there, and we understand that's true. We hear reports that Chipotle is still committed to their space.
Gladhill's spoken to the owners of a number of vacant businesses in Brooklyn Park. He says there's already interest coming back in.
Some of the proposals that are already being talked about could start to see some good traction in the coming months already.
Though public perception points to crime, Brooklyn Park police say that isn't necessarily the case. Citywide, crime is down 10%, with violent crime down 18%. Brooklyn Park Inspector Elliot Faust says at the Jolly Lane businesses, trends are similar.
We don't see high crime numbers in those businesses.
Those properties reported 6 thefts so far this year.
They're not outliers in that the crime is significantly worse. So that's the big picture.
Gladhill says there still is a lot the city doesn't know. They want to hear from the community. There will be a meeting about all of the recent changes at the Brooklyn Park Small Business Center on Wednesday, November 13th. We'll share more details at ccxmedia.org. Not far from the Brooklyn Park closures, a new restaurant will be opening soon. Rhea's Restaurant Bar and Breakfast will be opening in a location on Brooklyn Boulevard. The space used to be an El Loro Mexican restaurant. The new restaurant will offer Mexican plus Italian dishes, a concept described by one city leader as Mexican-Italian fusion. It's hoping to open in a couple weeks. A new campaign by the Robbinsdale Police Department aims to save lives, one fridge magnet at a time. The police department was out distributing emergency medical packets to seniors and others with serious medical conditions this week. These packets can give crucial health information to first responders if you're unconscious or hurt. They come with a pouch and a magnet so you can store them on your fridge or inside your freezer.
We want people to be able to let us know what medications are on. If they have allergies, we certainly don't want paramedics making it worse. And who we can call. Who are we able to call to help them get more help?
If you want an emergency medical packet, you can contact Robbinsdale Police.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. The Wayzata girls soccer team faced a familiar rival Friday for the Class 3A title as they met Lake Conference foe Edina in a rematch of last year's title game. Jay Wilcox has the highlights.
Friday morning soccer as top seed Wayzata meets third seed and defending champ Edina for the Class 3A girls soccer title. Wayzata strikes early. Lauren Craig to Carolyn Voss to Alex Vayu for the redirect goal. The Trojans are on the board just 3 minutes into the contest. 9 minutes later, Sophie Hawkinson with the steal and quickly sends it to Tenley Senden, who sidesteps the keeper and tucks it away for another goal. The Trojans get out to a big 2-0 lead. Still in the first half, and Craig gets the ball to Senden, who cuts it back and with the keeper out, calmly puts another one away. A great first half, and the Trojans lead 3-0. Edina gets one, but no more. Watch the great sequence of saves by goalkeeper Sofia Alvarez and her defense for the Trojans. Wayzata wins 3-1 to earn their first title since 2012 and 8th overall.
I think it was the perfect way to end, and it was great to do it with the senior teammates that almost all of them, we've all been on a team together since we were like 10 years old, so it was just like the perfect way to end.
A great way to cap a magical season for Wayzata. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The Maple Grove boys soccer team was back in the Class 3A title game. After finishing second last fall, the Crimson took aim at their first ever title. Chaz Moots has the highlights.
Maple Grove boys soccer looking for their program's first ever state championship. Egan also has never won a state title. No scoring in the first half. Different story in the second. On the free kick, Frank Miller slides in and scores the first goal of the game while sitting down. The Crimson take a 1-0 lead in the 47th minute. The Wildcats answered back just 2 minutes later. Then Egan again with possession. A good header leads to a breakaway for Jacob Sundag. He gets by the Crimson back line and puts the ball in the back of the net to give the Wildcats their first lead of the game. Back and forth we go. Just a minute later, the Crimson respond. Ike dual free kick. Gannon Farrens dives in for the header. It just sneaks in. Equalizer for MG. 59th minute now. Maple Grove threatening. Everett Johnston boots in Maple Grove's third goal of the game. Crimson back in front 3-2. But 8 minutes later, it's Zayan Oliath spotting up and drilling a top shelf goal, his second of the game. After regulation, the score was tied at 3. In overtime, first to score wins. Egan with a corner. Ball in the box, and again it's Oliath, his third goal of the match, an OT game winner. Maple Grove finishes their season with a 19-1-1 record and 3A state runner-ups again. In Minneapolis, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
It was what we like to call an instant classic. Wednesday, the Maple Grove and Champlin Park volleyball teams met in an epic battle with the state tournament berth on the line. Section 5 4A volleyball final Wednesday featuring second-seeded Maple Grove and top-seeded Champlin Park. Great start for the Crimson. McKinley Hartle passes to Amanda Swears, who sets the ball out to Riley Orrock. She gets the kill. Maple Grove leads 11-5. Later, it's Ginny Schuler setting the ball to Nysa Allen, and the big freshman middle hitter puts it away. Maple Grove goes on to win the first set, 25-17. Set 2, Hartle delivers an ace serve on set point. Maple Grove wins 25-20, and they're up 2-0. Champlin Park comes back in the third set. Reese Axtess sets it to Carly Gilk, who tips it over the blockers and down. Rebels win the set 25-20. Set 4, Axtess to Tessa Magnan, who scores the point. Rebels win 25-20 again, and teams go to a fifth and deciding set. And the fifth goes back and forth. The Crimson get a partial block on the Champlin Park attack, and then Bella Daniels goes cross-court for the point. Maple Grove up 6-5. Champlin Park scores the final 3 points of the night. Kira Bellison and Magnan get up to block the Maple Grove attacks. Champlin Park wins 15-13. They take it in 5 sets and will start state tournament play Wednesday afternoon. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.